guys, and welcome back to another tutorial on the research databases that are available to you through our library website. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Gale Science Research Articles database, which is very much geared towards all things science. So with this tutorial, we're going to take you through the database and show you how to utilize it. If you have already watched the tutorials on how to use the Gale opposing viewpoints or Gale research articles, this is going to look fairly similar, but it might be a nice refresher. So the first thing to do to get to the science research articles database is to go to our NGC Library homepage. And once you're here, go to Symbaloo. Now on the Symbaloo page of our website, remember you're going to see this little chart with all of these different tiles. Remember that each one of these tiles is a link to an online resource. It's either a free resource or it's one that is paid for by the district. So today, let's say that you guys just got assigned a research paper in your science class. Now, to really make sure that you're getting good quality research, one of the best places to go is right here where it says Science Research, because this is the Gale database that focuses on science research articles. So it's really going to make sure that you're getting the right type of research. You can see right here at the bottom, it has a username and a login for this database. Now, if you've never logged in or if you're using your home network, it will probably prompt you to put that information in. But if you've logged in before, if you're using the school network, it may not ask you for that information. But it is there if you need it. So simply click on the link, and it's going to take you to the Gale in Context Science database. So this means that the types of articles that you're going to find in this database are all related to science. So keep in mind that a database is simply a platform where good quality research articles are housed. So these are going to come from a variety of types of resources. There are going to be magazines, newspapers, scholarly journals, videos, even in some cases, reliable websites, and so on. So this is really one of the best places to go to start getting your research because you know you're going to get quality research. And you also have a variety of tools to help you organize your research and make sure that you're not plagiarizing. Okay, so you can see on the home page it's going to have topics of interest. Obviously, this is 2020. This is the year of the COVID. So we are going to look right here at the topic vaccines. So we hit explore this topic. Okay, so this is going to take me to a page all about research with vaccines, and not just COVID vaccines, but vaccines in general. So you can see right here on this page, there are 4 featured content articles. There are 126 reference, over 3,000 news, 28 images, 3,800 academic journals, 13 videos, over 1,300 magazines, over 400 audio, and 3 websites. So you can see that there's quite a bit of information out there on this topic. So let's say that your science teacher gave you very specific guidelines about what you had to do with the topic vaccines. Let's say that he told you you had to have 1 newspaper article, 1 academic journal, and 1 magazine article. Now, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go to all these different places to find it. No, you don't. That's why these databases are so wonderful, because all of that information is right here. If you need a newspaper article, just click on the news. All of these are newspaper articles. If you need a magazine, just click on magazine. These are magazine articles. Same thing with the academic journals. So if you find a resource from the news category, from the academic journal category, and from the magazine category, you have found 3 different types of resources. Okay, the fact that they're on this database really doesn't impact anything at all. They're all written by different people. They come from different publication journals, different companies, different authors. They're just all housed on this site. So let's say that you need specifically to find an academic journal on vaccines. So we have quite a few, 3,800. I doubt very strongly that many of you have time to read 3,800 academic articles on vaccines. So what you can actually do is you can filter your results. So you can see over here there are different ways to filter your results. And this basically means that you can weed out articles that you think aren't going to help you. One of the first things I always do when I'm weeding out results is I weed by publication date. Vaccines, in most science articles in general, there's ever evolving information. Like information is always changing. So if you're reading an article about vaccines that was published 10 years ago, it's probably not really that accurate. So if you want, you can actually look by a specific range. Like if you want to say within the last 5 years, the last 3 years, you can do that using this calendar. Or if you want the really most up-to-date information, you can hit I only want things published within the last year. Now you can see right here, it took me from around 3,000 to 300. Okay, so that's a much smaller pool of resources to search through. Let's say I also want to limit by Lexile measure. So click Lexile measure, and it's going to give you all of the Lexile ranges. Now, hopefully most of you guys remember, we take the SRI test like 3 or 4 times a year. I think it's in your history classes right now. And when you take this test, it gives you a Lexile score anywhere from like 100 to I think 1700 is the very highest. And this basically is a reflection of your current reading ability. So if you're going to do some research, you probably don't really want articles that are way above your reading level because they're going to be really dense, they're going to be hard to understand, and it's going to make it a lot harder for you to do your research. So let's say you only want articles within this range, okay, the 850 to 1200. Okay, you can hit apply. Okay, that took me down to 2 academic journals. Now, in most cases, you have probably limited yourself too much. You can always go back and remove those filters. Because you see right here where it has the X? If you click on that, it will remove the filter and it will bring back those resources. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to keep going. So let's say we want to read this case report, a recovered SARS-CoV-2 patient protected from reinfection. All right, so we click on that article, and now here we have the full article available to us. There's the title of the article, there's the author, we have the date it was published. It was published in the Frontiers in Medicine journal. Here's the publisher. We have a document type, the length, it's only 149 words, and we have the Lexile. So if you scroll down, you're going to see we actually have the article right here in this section. It's very, very short. But there are multiple ways to manipulate this article within this database. And once again, this is a great thing about these databases is they have all of these tools to help you organize your research. The first thing you see right here is this Google Drive button. Like if you really want this article for your research, you can hit send to Google Drive. Now it's going to ask you to sign in, which I had already signed in previously, so it just kind of said, oh, good, you're good. It may ask you to allow Gale to send things to your Google Drive. Make sure you hit allow. And then it says your document has been sent to your Google Drive. This means that this research article is now saved in my Google Drive, so I can access it anywhere I have access to my Google Drive. Now, keep in mind that if you are going to use this article in your research, you have to be able to cite it. If you scroll down to the bottom of your site of your article, you'll see right here, there is the Works Cited citation. You can see it's in MLA format, which if you're in English class, you probably want MLA. If you're doing science, you probably want APA. So you have your correctly formatted APA citation ready to go. And you have other ways to manipulate this as well. You can copy and paste this citation to like a Word doc or a Google doc, or you can export it to your Google Drive, or if you have OneDrive, which is like the Microsoft version, you can do that as well. So once you've done that, you have one article saved to your Google Drive and you have a Works Cited citation started. This means that you have one resource you can use to start writing your paper and you have the information to cite it, so that way you can avoid plagiarizing, which is a big deal. Now there are some other tools available, like right here you can send the article to OneDrive, you can email it, you can download it, so if you want to save it as a file on your MacBook or your desktop or even your iPad, you can do that. Or you have the option to print. So maybe you're more of a hands-on person. You want to be able to highlight and cut it up to organize it for your research. You can definitely still do that option. But there are other options over here as well, like translate. Maybe English isn't your native language. You can actually translate this into whichever language is easier for you, so that way you can read and understand the article. You can mess with the font size. Like maybe that font for you was just a little bit obnoxious with how big it was. You can make the font smaller or bigger depending on your own needs. We also have this little button right here that says listen.
Case report. A recovered SARS-CoV-2 patient protected from reinfection. Author S. Waleed Mahalawi.
Okay, so you can kind of see that you have an option as well. Like maybe you don't want to sit and read these articles to yourself. You can do the audio option. Now, I know the narrator isn't the best, but it is still being read to you, which is very helpful if you really can't focus. So there are some of those options right there on that page available to you with that research. We also have some buttons up here across the top. You can see the cite button. So if you want to easily cite that article right there, there's that same citation that we were just looking at. Remember, you can send it to any of these platforms to save it. You can send it through email, you can download it, you can print it. And in the past, I've had several kids who want to just save the link for this website, like right here at the top. They'll copy and paste this URL to a document. So that way they thought that they could just click on this link and it would take them straight back to this page right here. However, that does not work. Okay, the reason being is Gale is a database that we pay for. So if you try to exit the database and then just get back in like through a browser using this link, it's going to block you because it doesn't recognize that you have basically paid the money necessary to have access to these resources. It's not going to take you anywhere near this database. So you cannot use this URL to access this information. However, they do provide an option for you if you do want to save your links. So right here where it says get link, this is the link you would need to use if you wanted to save a URL that will take you directly back to this page with all of its tools and stuff. So you could copy and paste that permalink and save it to a Word doc so that way you could come back to this page at any time. You'll also notice right here there is a highlights and notes section. Like right now it says there's nothing in here. As you're going through your research, let's say you found something that you think, oh man, that's the perfect quote for my article. You can highlight it. You can pick a color. Like, hey, I want this to be purple because this is a great argument for my third, helps if you spell right, paragraph. And you can hit save. Now, if you'll notice right up here, it says highlights and notes. If you click on it, says there's the text you highlighted and there's your notes. And even if you go back to your results page, like you want to go see all the other resources you have available, you go to your notes and highlights, that information is still there. There's the title of the article you got it from. There's the section you highlighted. Here's your notes on that quote, and there is the citation that you're going to need for your Works Cited or your bibliography page. So hopefully if you're getting ready to do a topic, of research for a science class, I do hope that you use this resource. It's a great place to get good quality research. The homepage does have a variety of other options available to you. Like if you don't know what you're going to research, you can hit browse topics. And there are hundreds of topics related to science and medical information, and all that stuff just there for you to click on. Like, let's say you want to research head injuries. Once again, there's all these articles right there at the tip of your fingers related to this topic. So if you have any trouble at any point accessing the Gale Science database, or if you can't log in, or if you just don't remember how to find certain things or get citations, please don't hesitate to come to the library and ask me. I would be more than happy to help walk you through it or troubleshoot any problems that you have.